Come gather ye friends around your outdated judicial methods and listen to tales of judgment, punishment, and grave injustice from the painful pages of history.
Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Pain? Punishment? Judgment? Oh, it's like being at work.
Listen, when you work for me, you agree to give up certain so-called rights.
I mean the evil multinational corporation that I build instruments of torture for. Obviously not.
The Silly History Boys Show!
Well, good, because your performance reviews are due, and I brought a new cricket bat.
I was referring to the subject of today's episode, which is Trial by Ordeal.
Oh, yes, of course.
Trial by ordeal?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I shall explain. When Tombo is convicted of shoplifting...
Hang on.
All right, if a nameless, non-specific person who is not Tombo is accused of a crime, then they might have to go to court. And in court, a lawyer has to prove that they did the crime that they are accused of.
I've just done jury duty, listener. The jury are the ones who have to be convinced. 12 ordinary people selected at random. All have to agree that someone is guilty or innocent. I can't really say anything about the case, except that the sweet shop owners of Derby will sleep sounder for it.
I knew it was you, you son of a couch. Feel my nails, you grass.
Ouch! Don't! Not my soft narc's face!
Ignore them, listener. They'll tire themselves out. Now, in the past, there was a different system to trial by jury.
Trial by ordeal. An ordeal is something horrible. For example, taking your children all the way to a castle in the middle of nowhere to see the Silly History Boys show live has been described as an ordeal.
But these ordeals were even worse. Worse even than the punishment you'd receive if you were found guilty.
The ordeals were often based around an element, earth, wind and fire, not the band, obviously.
We're getting bogged down with explaining all this. Shall we just do something silly?
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Okay then. The Silly History Boys present Ordeal or No Deal.
The best / only game show about medieval justice. And here's your host, non-period specific awful history judge.
Silence in court. Judge Claudia Hardship presiding in the case of the shopkeepers of Derby. This is Tom Fermor.
Not again.
That's him, Your Honour. He distracted me with his floppy hair and easy charm, and all the while he was stuffing the bottom of his double pram with white mice and fizzy cola bottles. Check his pockets.
Oh, knickers. Me knickers have split under the weight of half-inch confectionery.
Master Fermor, thou art a known villain, and I therefore sentence you to...
Your Honour, I plead trial by ordeal.
Very well. Trial by water it shall be. Bring forth the cauldron. The water in the cauldron shall be heated by the fire until it becomes a boiling, bubbling broth of justice.
Right.
Then heavy stones shall be placed in the scalding water.
Okay.
The accused must plunge his hand into the searing water and pick from the bottom a number of stones determined by the court, which, in this case, is lots.
I've changed my mind.
Oh, good. Take him away and remove his skin, please.
All right, I'll do it.
But Tombo, this ordeal is almost as bad as the punishment for the crime.
Who are you? The narrator? Get your thieving hands in that pot, Fermor.
Fine, I'll do it. So, all I have to do is pick the hot stones out of the boiling water. Should I wash my hands? I feel like I should wash my... Like, people must use this as a cooking pot, and it's really unsanitary if I just willy-nilly You don't even know where my hands have been. They could have been.
Do it!
All right. Here I go.
Go on, Tombo! Go on, Tombo, you can do it! Go on, Tombo, you can do it! This is nowhere near as bad as that go through twice because of the
1.
Yes! Yes! Yes, Tombo!
There you go, you history jerks.
Lots! You've got to do more than one.
Oh, God. Okay.
Do it.
No, just give me... Two! I've got 2!
Yes, Tombo! You are hot right now, big man!
I know I'm hot.
The definition of lots is more than 2.
Curse my wandering hands and sweet tooth.
Get on with it.
Don't rush me. Don't rush me. Don't. Just give me a moment. Here we go. Done. Oh, right. I'm done. I'm off for a trauma-induced sugar binge. Later, jerks.
Not so fast. After this ordeal, his broiled hand shall be bandaged. If it heals within a certain time, then we shall know that God favours his cause, and he shall go free as an innocent man.
How long have I got?
Till the end of this episode, and it's only a 15 pages, so that's not very long, really.
Pants.
Well, you could always do another ordeal. How about trial by fire?
England, sometime between 1042 and 1066. King Edward the Confessor has come over from Normandy to be king. If you want to know why and how, then listen to Godwin Family Values, or episode 78 of the Silly History Boys show.
King Edward brought all his mates with him from Normandy to keep him company. But the problem with Normans, listener, is that they are the worst.
And one of the worst of all is that guy from episode 78, Robert of Germiers.
Chaos is a ladder in the tights of destiny, fraying at the fabric of fate until...
Lay off the metaphors, Bobo. This is supposed to be a short episode.
Forgive me, good narrator. This new country abounds with opportunity for me.
Well, you're Archbishop of Canterbury. That's a pretty big deal.
Yes, the most powerful position in the English church. It comes with land and power. Power, my good Pepe, is a buffet.
Please stop. Thank you. Despite the favour shown to him, Robert of Germiers was not satisfied. He wanted more land. In particular, he wanted 9 manor houses with lots of land attached to them. Houses owned by a lady. A lady that we've met.
It is I, Emma of Normandy, Queen of England in the 9th century, and pillar of my husband's vast North Sea Empire. Unfortunately, my husband, King Canute, recently died of death.
What about your other husband, King Ethelred the Unready?
Silence! No one must mention my other ex-husband on pain of being roughed up.
Is that because you bin-bagged him so you could marry Canute?
Right! Rough him up, boys!
Oh, no! Ow! Oh, ouchie! Ooh, Lord! Oh, ouch! Ooh, each!
That's better. Yes, my little son Edward is King of England now. So I'm Queen Mummy. And I lord it over a vast home country's empire. I own lots of land, you know.
But you can't own stuff. You're a girl.
You've got a lot to learn, Bobo. Girls can't own land in Normandy, but this is England. And in Anglo-Saxon England, sisters are doing it for themselves. Ladies have the same rights in the law as men do. So suck it up, you.
I must address this injustice. This must be a scheme so intricate in its planning and subtle in its execution. Now, to think of the I accuse the Queen of cheating on her husband
My husband? But he's dead!
with the Bishop of Winchester.
But he's dead!
That doesn't matter. All Naughty Cheater's lands must be forfeited and then given to me.
My son Edward is king. He's a good boy, and he'll look after his mummy.
Hello, listener. It's me, Edward the Confessor. Hello there. You remember 1066 and all that? That's right. It's me. Hello. I'm the king, famous for his gentle nature. In real life, I wasn't gentle at all. In fact, I was a bit of a slug. In fact, I'm so much of a slug that I'm not going to stick up for me mum in court.
Edward!
Sorry, Mum. I need to build government with Normans. And I'm so tight with Robert of Jamash that if he said a black crow were white, well, I'd believe him.
It's true, listener. It's in the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. Fine. If my own son will not help me, then I claim the right of trial by ordeal.
Very well, my queen. Trial by fire it shall be. The preparations were made for the ordeal. All the seats and pews of Winchester Cathedral were cleared away, and in their place a long walkway was cleared.
Outside, a great fire was lit, and into that fire were placed 9 iron ploughshares. These ploughshares were usually used to plough fields, but now they were heated until cherry red to judge a queen.
The 9 ploughshares symbolised the 9 manors that were at stake. Queen Emma spent the night before praying at the shrine of St. Swithin. Is it St. Swithin's Day already?
'Tis, replied Aunt Helga.
Kippers for breakfast with vinegar. The hot metal was laid upon the stone floor of the cathedral, making a path where the queen must walk barefoot.
I love the smell of ploughshares in the morning. It smells like victory.
The congregation of Normans sniggered into their sleeves in anticipation of the cruel ordeal.
Oh, mad for it!
We're gonna be rich, kid! Into the cathedral stepped Queen Emma. With a regal gaze, she stared down her accusers.
Check me, you snitches. With God as my witness, I shall prove my innocence.
Less talking and more walking, madam. You must cross the hot irons from one end of the cathedral to the other. If your feet do not burn, then we must find you innocent. But if we find any mark upon them, then you are guilty, and all your stuff shall go to me.
Then I put my faith in my walk.
And with this, the Queen stuck her nose in the air and walked, past her accusers, and towards the red-hot irons she strode. The crowd cringed.
As her bare foot touched the first scalding iron.
And continued to the second.
No, she didn't. And to the third, completely unharmed.
Are these things on?
The fourth and fifth, without so much a flicker of discomfort on her face.
Oh, would somebody please tell me when I'm standing on the hot iron, because I can't even feel anything. It's not even warm.
By the time she stepped onto the sixth, the English crowd were chanting her name.
What, Your Majesty?
You stick it to them Norman belters, Emma!
We are Queen Emma!
And on the final iron, the Queen turned and pointed down the aisle to her accuser.
Bishop Robert, witness me, fool.
And moonwalked over the last iron.
Oh, I'm so good. Moonwalking.
And the crowd went wild.
Queen Emma was lifted up by the crowd of adoring bootlickers and carried, innocent from the sight of her ordeal. Her accuser, Bishop Robert of Germiège, was thrown out of the country and donkey-punched for his dishonesty. And henceforth...
no, Uncle Bob.
Dear Uncle Bob.
You stand accused of passing off legend as history. How do you plead?
No, that story isn't true, listener, but it's a legend, but it's a very good one.
Guilty! Take him away and remove his skin, please.
No, wait! I plead judgment/trial by ordeal. My time as a runner, listener, has given me very, very hard skin on the bottom of my feet. Elephant hide, in fact.
The ordeal shall be trial by combat.
Oh no, not my soft boy's fists! Anyway, trial by combat isn't real, is it?
Oh no, my soft friend, it's real. I refer you to the case of Guy of Steenvord versus Iron Herman.
That sounds made up.
Silence in court!
Hello, you blokes and sailors, and welcome to the county of Flanders, modern Belgium, in 1127. This is a right horrible story, alright. It contains a murder and then another one. First murder is that of me, Charles the Good, Count of Flanders. How are you?
Hello. Are you happy with your broadband?
Ah, Struth, excuse me. Look, pal, I'm in the middle of a little bit of narration.
Oh, you murdered me. Oh, you murdered me right up. You'll pay for that, you naughty boy.
You'll have to catch me first.
Charles the Good's murderer was quickly executed. But no one was actually sure if the real murderer had been caught or just how many people had been involved in the plot.
Well, that's the end of that chapter, wouldn't you say? Hurrah for justice, and R.I.P. Charlie G, yo.
Indeed, rather a lot of people suspected that man, a man called Guy of Steenvord, one of Duke Charles's knights, of being involved, or perhaps even being the murderer.
What was that? Are you accusing me, you sluggy little narrator?
Sorry, I didn't realise the history people could hear us this week.
Not that it matters. There's not a court in the land that would dare accuse me. I'm too mighty and too knighty to be tried by a jury.
Guy of Steenvord.
That's not what I'm called. Who are you, skank?
My name is Herman the Iron, or Iron Herman. I accuse you of the murder of Charles the Good, and I claim the right of trial by combat.
Then let's dance, cabbage head.
I will crush you with right, justice, and feasts.
And so the knights mounted their steeds and prepared to face one another in trial by combat.
A baying crowd gathered to watch justice served at the point of a lance.
The knights hefted shield and lance, slammed down their visors, and rode at one another.
Justice!
The knights collide in pointy metal and anger. Guy's lance strikes and sends Iron Herman crashing out of the saddle and into the dirt.
The defense rests. Ready for your cross-examination, Herman. Ride him down, Mrs. Clipperclop.
Cross-examine these.
As the mounted Guy powers in to finish him, Herman draws his sword, drops his shoulder, and decapitates the snorting charger before it can ride him down.
My horse! Oh, gross!
As he falls, Guy of Steenvord kicks his spurs clear and rolls out of the way.
How so you bleed?
Just avoiding Iron Herman's dripping blade.
You owe me a horse, you iron jack.
Sue me.
Now afoot, the two knights go at it with sword and sheath.
No quarter asked or given, they hew at one another.
Blades clash and scrape, but neither man can find an opening.
Confess, Knight. You killed our count.
The knights were well matched, and the heavy mail and heavy swords sapped their strength until...
Guy of Steenvord threw down his sword and rugby tackled Herman.
The exhausted pair pawed and grappled at one another like they'd been thrown out of Wetherspoons on a Tuesday afternoon.
They strained and hewed until Iron Herman slipped and Guy threw him down.
Oh, I landed on my keys.
The people's elbow!
Guy pinned his opponent and began biffing ad nauseum with his iron gauntlets.
Iron Herman looked out for the count.
But as Guy fisted his helpless opponent, Herman's hand sneakily crept up and under his enemy's chainmail.
And seized hold of something important.
Ooh, that is cold!
And pulled.
Guy of Steenvord crashed to the ground, crying that he was killed.
Oh, I'm killed! Killed in the worst possible way! Ouchie! No one knows if I even did it, listener. I'm sure as hell going to die because of it. Here I go. Yeah.
And Iron Herman rose to his feet and held his hands aloft in victory.
Yeah, justice. Yeah. Although I'd better go and wash my hands, actually. Yeah, justice.
The trial by combat was complete.
Oh my god! Did he pull the other chap's, chap off?
Yeah. According to Galbert of Bruges, who wrote the account, that's how it ended for him.
History people are awful.
Well, that makes sure that you won't be naughty, doesn't it? And speaking of naughty, let's see that arm, little Thomas.
Oh, no way. It surely can't have healed in time.
Well, here we go then. Oh, looks all right to me.
What?
Wowie, wowie.
Very well, Master Fermor. Under the terms of the ordeal, the court finds you innocent. But let this be a lesson to you silly boys. Don't do the crime if you can't do the ordeal.
He's gone back into the world of radio and history.
What a disagreeable, if handsome man.
Tombo! Have we witnessed a miracle? Did blagging that priest so he could get married in a church work long term?
What? Oh, no, I put a fake arm I used for shoplifting in the boiling water. The only miracle you witnessed was the miracle of my acting.
And that's ordeal enough.
Yes. Now back to your performance review.
Oh no! Quickly, finish the latest episode of...
Oh God, he has got a bat! The Silly History Boys show!
And for all the squeals and ordeals,
We are...
As always...
Sorry! Ordeal or No Deal, or episode 86 of The Silly History Boys was written, produced and presented by The Silly History Boys. The parts of Judge Hardship, Norman Pear and Peasant Pear were played for you this week by me, Stu the Pear Bear Perry. The parts of Shop Bilbo, Saxon Bilbo, Norman Bilbo and Guy of Steenvord were played for you by Will Uncle Bilbo Tristram. The parts of King Henry from the Godwin episode and Iron Herman, or Iron H if you're feeling informal, were played this week by Tombo Fermor. The parts of Robert of Germaerge, Peasant Bob and Charlie, the strangely Australian Duke Charles the Good of Flanders, were played for you by Rob, your dear Uncle Bob Bond. And last but by no means least, the part of Queen Emma of Normandy, or Emma, was played by Gemma Velma von Bob Bond. Music, zaps, boings, splats and whatnot come from ZapSplat.com. Thank you as always, ZapSplat. Plus extra music by Scott Buckley. And of course, thanks to Henry Myhee for the use of his song Through Fire and War. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to get in touch with us, remember we have got an email address. It's thesillyhistoryboysshow@gmail.com. And we also have the social medias. I think we've got those. I don't really go on them very often, but I'm assured that we're on all the major platforms. So hit us up on there. Or if you want to hit us up in person, come and find us at the Royal Armouries in Leeds over Easter weekend. We shall be there being silly in the flesh. It's going to be extremely exciting. But anyway, until our next episode, dear listener, bye-bye!
Oh, here we go. Hello, Guy. Oh, Guy, here we are. Excuse me, I don't know why I snorted like a pig. Hello, are you happy with your broadband?